Hey everybody, Brian Westley Johnson here, and welcome to another Soulivity Weekend. Wow, we have such a great show for you today. We are going to be talking with New York Times two-time best-selling author Christy Whitman. We're going to be talking about her new book, The Desire Factor, which I believe right now is such an important read for all of us because it's a connection between our physical world and our spiritual world and how those two can combine to create the life that we want today. So sit back, relax, grab some coffee, and enjoy this wonderful chat that I had with Christy Whitman. Christy, oh my gosh, I am so happy that you're with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Oh man, no, we're the ones who are honored. The Desire Factor. How to embrace materialistic nature to reclaim your full spiritual potential. This is such a necessary book right now. It's different. It is fresh. We were kind of talking offline about this before, and I think so necessary. And so I guess my first question, because I think a lot of times we have books on spirituality and metaphysics, and they're very ethereal, and they might have some steps in them, but they're about understanding just pure spirituality, if that makes any sense.
It does. I had a conversation on a podcast just recently from one of the groundbreaking, spiritual teachers of our time, Harold Watson. And he was in The Secret, and he was mentioned in Rhonda Byrne's books and different things like that. And he just kept talking from the perspective of spirit, soul, that there's no needs, there's no desires.
Right.
And I agree that which breathes us, that which energy is all a part of, has no need. It has no desire. It just is. But when it comes into a human form, which is us, a human, right? It gets our attention because we are grounded, and we've been grounded in the 3D world. That's how we've been, trained. This is a desk. That is a pen. This is a chair. Our brains have to retain information. It's designed that way. And in that, our journey here, I like to think of desires as like Hansel and Gretel. Remember Hansel and Gretel? There's like spiritual breadcrumbs. Right? Your desires lead you to something else, which leads you to something else. And most people deny their desires. That I shouldn't have them. Oh, it's too selfish. Who am I to do that? Oh, that's crazy thinking. That'll never happen. All the things, because based on our very limited perspective, and even if we have a great perspective as a human being, we're still limited because we're human. But having connection with the unlimited, right? There's pure potentiality. So as long as we allow ourselves to continue to move forward with our desires, no matter how big or small they are, no matter if it's never been done or if other people have done it, whatever the desire is.
Right.
It could be a desire to start a family, to start a business. It doesn't matter. Whatever that is, that desire, if it gives us excitement and expansion and we feel passionate about it, right? We move with it. We then grow into more of our potential, and we're connected to the one that breathes us,
Right.
which is really what it's all about anyway, on
Mm-hmm.
such a deeper level, that we actually get to enjoy this life. Contrasts will come, things will happen. I mean, there's things in human life that no matter how great your mindset is and how great your energy is, there are things in human experience like the loss of someone you love, or if your dog is passing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There are just those moments where I wish it'd be so great if it could be all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and lollipops and we could get to that place. But we are in a 3D world where contrast exists. Everybody has their own free will and
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
And so
You,
someone else that's out of alignment might choose to be rude, but it's also up to us. How do we process that energy so that their rudeness only affects us for a moment, not for the rest of the week or a month or the rest of our lives?
I love it. Question. What why this book now? What brought you to this moment? Because again, we all have our own journeys, right?
Yeah.
And I just found that it was profound
Thank you.
that you're taking on something that I think in most religious dogma and doctrine, the meek shall inherit the earth, right? I mean, this idea that we are not supposed to want material, specifically material things. And what's so beautiful about this is, and I'm going to read something a little bit later, but you're basically saying that's okay, that it's all spirituality. What was the moment where you were like, I need to write about this? I need to write about this.
Well, my books come through me, right?
Hmm.
And so it's not even a I need, it's I can't do anything about it because I'm so inspired. I literally will pick up a pen and start writing. Um, I was on a cruise ship with my two parents, my mom and my dad, my two children, my husband. We were in the middle of the Mediterranean on this fabulous cruise, and
Mm,
we were heading to
mm.
Venice, Italy. And
Oh, love Venice.
I, yeah, and I recall the first time that my husband and myself and my mom and dad, before kids, went to Venice, and it was right 15 years ago, right when I started my business. And I went into Venice and we stayed there for, I think, 2.5 days. And I was in shock because I've always loved fashion, right? I've always
Mm,
been a fashion girl. I've always loved, it's not because something is expensive, it's because of something, the craftsmanship and how it smells and the beauty of it and all that. So it's not because, ooh, it costs a lot, I like it. There's something there that just enlivens me. So here I am in Venice for the first time, and it is like, holy moly, one after the other. Dolce and Gabbana and Prada and Versace and Valentino and Dior and Chanel, and I can keep going. And I'm like, you know, and then I'm dating my husband at this time. We're not married yet. And I'm like a hummingbird, literally going
oh
into store
man.
to store to store and just like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I was
Yeah,
so on
really
fire.
quickly. If people, Venice is one of those places where you're walking down a turn and you see all these wonderful stores that you're talking about. But then you turn the corner and then it's like a whole nother row, like it's popcorn and
Yeah.
and fireworks. Every, as you turn through every corner, there's something spectacular to look at. So
Or
please
eat
continue. Oh, I love that
oh,
place.
it's just fantastic. Or see, or it's amazing.
Bellissimo.
So oh, it's so amazing. So yes. So here I am in Venice and I'm popping around and my husband or my boyfriend at the time says to me, I can't afford you. And I said, you don't have to afford me. I'll afford myself. I'm like, someday, and I declared, someday we're going to come back here and I am going to go in any of those stores and I'm going to buy myself something that I want because
Right.
I was being smart. It wasn't realistic that at the time I would go and spend that kind of money. I was building my business, right? But I declared, instead of feeling bad about it and going, God, I can't afford that. I'll never be able to afford it. He can't afford me. I need a new boyfriend, any of all that, right? I
Right.
went, no, I'm going to come back someday. So here I am. It's the day. We go to Venice. have a beautiful morning with my family in San Marcos Square. We
Oh,
have like
yes.
cappuccino and croissants, and there's a band
Perfect.
playing there singing happy birthday to my dad, right? We get the kids, all the kids, including my parents, back on the ship, and now it's our turn. We went shopping and we had so much fun. And I found this, went to this amazing pasta lunch and we're having wine. It was just a glorious day. And so I got this Dolce and Gabbana purse. And I'm on the
Mm.
ship now after my day in Venice and I'm unwrapping it and I'm
Mm.
looking at this purse. And I'm going, wow, what it represented for me in that moment, it represented years of putting a lot of hard work into my business,
Yeah.
of transforming people's lives, of literally being able to create wealth and abundance, to having so many accomplishments, like 2 books hit the New York Times, to be able to take my parents on a dream vacation. They still haven't taken one since because they're in their late 80s, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was their last hurrah. And I was able to give that to them because of what I built. And it wasn't the only desire factor that came from that moment, but sitting there holding that purse, it was like that's what that represented and who I became in the process. That purse represents that to me. And then I heard a voice
Oh.
say, "You're so materialistic." Who dat?
Like,
What? What you talking about, Lois? Was that who is I was like, "What? Where is that coming from?" Because it was, like, such a glorious moment,
right.
and it was my sister's voice, and remembering that all of our limitations come from imprints, from something we,
Yes.
learn,
Yes.
something that happens, and I remember in that moment being a little girl and being all excited about Easter, and I put my little Easter hat on and the gloves and the dress, the matching shoes. I was ready to go. And
Mm.
she looked at me and just totally cut me down like, "You're so materialistic."
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was a moment. It's like, wait a minute.
Wait.
How many people want something, but they tell themselves they can't have it based on somebody else's voice from something that happened years and years and years ago?
Yeah.
And coming up,
Specifically, I mean, you talked about this when we first came on together. What is the spiritual nature of materialistic desire?
Mm.
What is that?
so stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Life is full of moments. And when sickness breaks your momentum, from the 5 a.m. stomach bug, or stress and anxiety at work, don't forget you have Teladoc. Great care options by phone, video, or app. 24/7 access to doctors. And access to therapists 7 days a week. From anywhere you are. Day or night. Whatever it is, we're always ready to help. So you can get back to enjoying life's best moments faster. Life is good. Enjoy it well.
Visit a doctor today without even leaving your home. For as little as $19.95 per month for a family plan, you get access to board-certified physicians as often as you need it. And there's $0 for medical visits anytime, anywhere. Register now by visiting soulivity.com/health perks. That's soulivity.com/health perks. You can find all the Satonic products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care. It is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Soulivity. And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
On and the gloves and the dress, the matching shoes. I was ready to go. And she looked at me and just totally cut me down like, you're so materialistic.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was a moment. It's like, wait a minute.
Wait.
How many people want something, but they tell themselves they can't have it based on somebody else's voice from something that happened years and years and years ago?
Yeah. Thank you for that. Because, and I'm going to read something. This is from, again, I tell people all this when I do my shows. I read through the whole book, but I really pay attention to the beginnings and the ends, because they are bookends. And that you're saying, most authors, they're really, you really got to pay attention to this stuff. I mean, the middle part is absolutely necessary for you to read, but pay attention to what authors are saying in the beginning. And the very first paragraph relates to this, because this is where my question came from for you. Say, desire. It's a powerful force that triggers a surge of heightened pleasure and purpose, sending life-giving energy rushing through every fiber of our beings. And regardless of whether the object of our desire is a person, possession, or idea that we want to make manifest in our lives, the act of wanting something is about far more than its attainment. That blew me away. It blew me away. And so my first question is, I mean, you went in some of this earlier.
And that's when you went to the back of the book and saw what that was about, right? Too.
See? Okay, interview over. We're done, y'all. So specifically, I mean, you talked about this when we first came on together. What is the spiritual nature of materialistic desire? What is that?
All that is formless, is pure energy. It individualizes itself through us. We have proof of that because we have our hearts that beat and none of us can do anything about it. We can elevate our heart rate, but we can't tell our heart to beat. It does that, just like breath is breathing us, even if we're thinking about our breath or not. We can take a deliberate breath in, but we've been talking, I haven't been thinking about my breath, right? So that's breathing me. It's growing my nails. It's growing my hair. It's growing your mustache. It's digesting our food. It's got the whole entire nervous system and all the electricity and all the stuff that's happening in all of the, 50 trillion cells? I mean, we can't even think about how many cells are literally firing inside of our bodies right now. That's life. That's energy.
Right.
And so it wants to experience itself through us uniquely and differently. That's why not all of us are the same.
Again, I'm so glad you wrote this book. And I really mean that. I mean, I say that a lot, but this is a very important, but also unique perspective on how we should live our lives, how we can live our lives, right? Um, you say it's not about the items, the destination, or the specifics of a particular manifestation. It's about the process of being lit up by something and the energy that is summoned through you as a result. Wow. That blows all that religiosity out the water, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. So you're supposed to, you know,
Struggle,
not
suffer.
not want for anything. I mean, you know,
When you're hungry, do you want to eat? Is that bad?
yeah,
No, you got to take
no.
care of the body.
And coming up,
Or everything. I mean, this isn't even we could go so woo woo, but this isn't even woo woo.
Oh yeah. Well, I like
This
woo
this
woo,
I
but
love woo woo. I'm a woo wooer. I've always been. I'm like I don't care. That's a compliment. Call me woo woo. You know.
so stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Life is full of moments. And when sickness breaks your momentum, from the 5 a.m. stomach bug, or stress and anxiety at work, don't forget you have TeleDoc. Great care options by phone, video, or app. 24/7 access to doctors. And access to therapists 7 days a week. From anywhere you are. Day or night. Whatever it is, we're always ready to help. So you can get back to enjoying life's best moments faster. Life is good. Enjoy it well.
Visit a doctor today without even leaving your home. For as little as $19.95 per month for a family plan, you get access to board-certified physicians as often as you need it. And there's $0 for medical visits anytime, anywhere. Register now by visiting soulivity.com/health perks. That's soulivity.com/health perks.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
You can find all the Satanic products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care, it is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Soulivity. And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
Is that bad?
Yeah,
No, you got to take
no.
care of the body.
no,
If you're
no,
thirsty, if you're
no.
thirsty and there is a glass of water, are you supposed to not want that and take care of yourself by taking that?
Right.
That's why I talk about this in the desire factor. I have a really hard time understanding from a perspective of this all giving, all life,
Hmm.
having a story of where here is a tree
Right.
and there's apples in it.
Right.
You can't have it.
Yeah. Right. Right. I mean,
It's like
where does it end? Right. I mean,
it's like the
where
saying,
does
yeah,
there
exactly.
is no ending. Right. So, there's this beautiful purse that you wanted in Venice.
It wasn't even the most expensive purse of
It
all the
wasn't
purses I
even,
saw.
but
It actually was one of the least expensive.
right. It represented more than the seen. There was the unseen that was there, and the
Yes.
energy that resonated in that for you.
Yes.
It reminds me of it. It reminds me of how the abundant consciousness, having a prosperity consciousness, right? Where we do live in an unlimited world that with
Universe.
all our needs can be completely and utterly met, you know.
Well,
Um,
all of us live with a treasure chest above
right,
our heads. And
right,
it's filled with energy. It can never
right,
be depleted. Nobody can take it from us. We don't have
right.
to prove ourselves to get it. It's there. We can literally bring in the energy of well-being and connect with the energy of abundance or success or love. It's like a vending machine of energy that has to come through
I like that.
us, right? You can go, today I want joy, right? It's like
Right.
you get to pull that energy and pull it into a frequency, into the third dimensional reality. And what you said is so true. There's an undercurrent under all forms. Even the very ocean, there's a current that you cannot see that pulls that wave. The wave is the manifestation.
Mm, mm, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot.
under
Um,
under everything. I mean, this isn't even we could go so woo woo, but this isn't even woo woo.
oh yeah. Well, I like
This
woo
this
woo,
I
but
love woo woo. I'm a woo wooer. I've always been. I'm like I don't care. That's a compliment. Call me woo woo. You know. My husband's like, well, that might have been a little too woo woo for them. I'm like, good. Then I'm doing my job, right? I
bring
love
it,
the woo. Bring it
bring it.
on. Yeah,
In fact, we may change our tagline to the land of woo woo, Soulivity. Bring it, you know.
I love it.
Um,
And it's
um,
scientifically proven now, though. My point is that you crack open an atom, what's in it? Energy. Everything is energy. The
yeah.
plant, I mean, everything that has formed itself, and here will blow your mind, not just the stuff like the cell phones and the pens and the plants and the dogs and the people. A
Hmm.
thought is a form. It's a
Right,
thought form. It's a
right,
manifestation.
right,
A
right.
feeling is a manifestation.
Yeah. I'm thinking of it's not the thing that we get hung up on. It's what our lower consciousness and ego and what we've been socialized to believe about those things that's the hang up, right?
Exactly.
And so
We're
we have to
we're
release that.
meaning
So
makers.
so
Yep.
again, that's why I'm happy that there is a book like The Desire Factor out here now to kind of help people wake up from that and let that stuff go. Create a new normal. Let it
Yeah.
go. Just let that stuff go, right? I mean, again, you said desire is the first step in all creation. Without desire, nothing happens. There can be no motion forward, right? Um, in terms of motion forward, who are the Quantum Council?
Ah. So this is why, this is why you asked how did I or when did I or about the book. So that came down as a story, and for many times, many months, a good 6 months, I held on to it, and it was going to be a book. It was going to be a book on purses. It literally was going to be a book how like symbols and things like this,
Huh.
and then energy stopped. It was just like I wasn't supposed to do anything with it. And in September 3 years ago, all of a sudden I could hear their voices. I could see, I could get visuals. I was doing healing work with people. I could see their blocks. It was amazing. And so they were telling me one day, I had to pull over on the freeway because all of a sudden I saw them, and it was this just beautiful light filled, I don't even know how to English words to describe it, but they said to me, create a sacred circle of light, and exactly what to do. So I still do the sacred circle of light where I select people come in, and every week we work on their energy. We do release traumas, and it's astonishing and amazing. So I was doing the work through me. And then one day, this woman asked a question that she had asked me many times before, and they had given information, and it was like they went, okay, move over. And my consciousness just went out. And I got to tell you, it was wild because I felt like my consciousness was over the chair and I could hear everything.
Wow.
And I had like a different accent, and some at that point were saying it was like Indian / Australian / British, / South African. So it was a very unique energy, but the information that came through was, they said there are no problems. There's only perception of problems.
Right.
And this woman just like something opened up in her. And when I came back in, I was like, holy, that never happened. I was crying. The ladies were crying. And we've been together ever since. Now my consciousness totally goes out. It's like taking a nap. I invite them in, and it's just higher awareness. It's for those of you that are aware of it, it's kind of like Esther with Abraham. For those of you that have heard of Channeled, the difference is they actually do healing work, and they will look at someone holographically. Right now we're doing a meditation series on healing the nervous system. So it's like it's incredible, the work and the depth and the releasing that's happening, and the way that people are now feeling their power instead of just getting it as a concept, because it's really working with energy on a practical level. And where we even started this conversation is taking all of that and being able to bring it into your physical body. And how do you practically apply this? So one of the first things that the council did with me is they said, we're creating a quantum energy mastery class. I was in a retreat with my husband, grab a pen. And I literally 4 modules. So we offer that twice a year. People are just so healed in this whole process, the way they designed it. Meditations go with it. It's just extraordinary. And then from that material, birth the desire factor mixed with my stories. And then, of course, what happened at the end of the book, I thought, ooh, it's so perfect, right? I'll go and beat Shazam. I'll have every song be one that I know. I'll win the $1 million. I did that about 100 million times, visualizing me going, yeah, hugging Jamie Foxx, just the whole celebration of it. All of that energy continued to explode through me, even though the exact manifestation didn't happen the way I wanted it to. I'm not going to share the whole story so that you get it and you feel surprised in the book. But the energy is never wasted. That form may look different, right? It might not be that man. It might be that man. It may be that job. It might be that job. Maybe not be that client. It might be that client. Maybe it's not that place, or maybe it's not that house. It's this house. The forms all change with the energy of the undercurrent, or under the undercurrent, like the waves. Like I was saying, it's the energy under it. And so the council brought forth this wisdom for all of us to be able to practically apply how to master our own energy, therefore master our lives.
And coming up.
Now imagine if everybody knew that and felt that and applied that, lived from that.
Woo!
So stay tuned for more Soulivity Weekend.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Thank you for tuning in to Beauty and Gratitude with D'Angelo Thompson. That's me. We're going to focus on beauty from the inside out and gratitude being the cornerstone of your life. I will have amazing guests from all walks of life, from wellness experts to beauty, tech, fashion, you name it, they will be here. And we have amazing names coming up in the near future. So tune in every 2 weeks, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soulivity TV or Soulivity Magazine. Thank each of you for watching, and focus on life, focus on gratitude. Thank you.
Soulivity Magazine and Beyond Words Publishing want to remind you about the importance of continuing to follow public health guidelines to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your community. Please continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please visit these sites for further information about how to stay safe from COVID-19 into the new year. Remember, love protects us. You can find all the Satanic products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care. It is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Soulivity. And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
You know,
I mean,
I'm glad that you brought this other dimension, right? In fact, what I probably need to do at some point, maybe you'll join me in this, is have something specific that talks about how our brothers and sisters, or actually there's not even sex involved. It's more like our light workers that were our former brothers and sisters on this side of the plane, and angels and whatever you want to call it, are working for our own good on the other side of the veil. And they are always accessible for us,
mhm.
right?
Yes.
And all we have to do is be open, through meditation, through mindfulness, all these other things.
Yeah.
Or like, little things happen and we go, oh, why did that happen? And it's like, oh, well, yeah, that's our light workers helping us out, right?
Yeah.
And
The
and
council
and
likes
and
the
that it's
council
helping
calls
us
that.
go through this journey so that
Yes.
we're not alone. We don't feel alone.
We're never alone.
We're never alone,
Yeah.
right?
The council says we all have our own light assembly.
Mm.
Like our own, like imagine, this is what they say. Imagine being in the center of, I don't know, the New York Giants stadium.
Hmm.
right?
Right.
One of the biggest stadiums, right? It could be Wembley Stadium, wherever it is. And there's just bleachers and bleachers and seats, and you keep looking, it's overwhelming how many seats there are.
Mhm.
All of those seats are filled up for you. You are in the center of that stadium. It is your stadium, and they are all the seats are filled for you. It's all
Wow.
support for you.
Wow.
Now imagine if everybody knew that and felt that and applied that, lived from that.
Woo. Woo. I mean, I'm feeling that as you're talking about it,
Yeah. If
right?
each
Where
person knew how
you're
supported
walking
and
into
loved.
walking out on out on the field, and there's 100,000 people that are like, "Way to go, Christy! We're with you." Yeah. I mean, just woo. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel again. I can't. I feel emotional about that.
Yeah. And they're not people. They're beings of
No,
light where
that's
it's,
the
it's unlimited.
yeah. I know you there. Yeah, there's none
Yeah.
of there's all the human stuff. No, it's just the beings of light. They're just there, present, ever present, everywhere you go. And again, I thought it was important. I just wanted to kind of like hammer that a little bit because I think when we start connecting our human existence to our spiritual experience and where there's this quote unquote work that's part of the walk that has to be done, right? We sometimes feel as though, again, like I said before, we're alone, that we're having to do this slog, the 40 days and 40 nights through the wilderness, da 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 da, and this image comes up, and it's like you're out there by yourself, and it's like, no, you're not. You're not by yourself. There's a whole host of people, of not even people, of light beings that are with you, that are supporting you and lifting you up and saying, keep on walking, keep on. There's going to be flowers that are going to be along the way. Don't worry about that. You're not going to be drinking, sand. You're trying to eat sand and sticks. You'll have flowers along the way. Just keep going. You know. Um,
Yep.
while we still have time, um, the desire factor is built around these 7 beautiful universal principles. And some of them people have heard of before, some of them they might not have heard of before. But the point for that I see in the book is the order and the fact that
Important.
you build that as you go through the process, and it's cyclic, right? Where you go back around and this kind of thing.
It's like that.
There's waves of energy, right? That swell, and it's like, if you throw a rock in a pond and there's waves going out, but you throw another one right after that, the waves build and compound, right?
Yes.
So that the wave gets bigger and the energy gets bigger. And so the purpose that you have in the 7 principles is to increase the energetic flow, like you said, the wave, right? This manifestation wave. We're saying, no, we're just one's going to build and one's going to build. So really
Momentum.
quickly, I just want to kind of go through them. I want to do this with a caveat, everybody. Just knowing what they are is not going through them.
Mm-mm.
There is specific steps that are within the book that take you on this journey in the 7 principles. But what I wanted to get from you, Christy, was just a basics of what the principles are so people can know what to expect when they're actually diving into the book. So the first principle is alignment. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Well, alignment means, you're in alignment. You're in the flow of what you want, what your desire is. So your consciousness, what you say, what you think, what you perceive, what you feel, what you do is all in alignment.
Okay.
And that's always got to be there because we do things constantly where we're not in alignment. Got to do it. I have to do it. right? You can always change your perspective, right? There's things that I am doing right now to help out my kids and my parents, and sometimes I don't want to do it. And if I'm like, I don't want to do it, I'm not in alignment. It's not going to go well. If I'm like
Right.
stomping around,
Right.
it doesn't help anything. So changing my perspective and getting in alignment with what's the positive aspect here. I'm doing this for my parents because I love them. Okay, so let me align with love and now move forward, right? So yes, I just want to say this. These are the 7 principles. They're all universal and they all build on each other. So people have probably heard some of these, but they put them like it's like having a puzzle piece that's the
Right.
pieces are in the wrong place.
Excellent
And
point.
much like a padlock where the numbers have to go in sequential order in order to open, this is the exact step by step. I've been doing this work on myself for 25 years, teaching it for 20, right? And yeah, but they said these are the exact steps to manifest. And it's amazing when you watch it happen. And I get to be a coach and I get to listen to readers and I get to watch people that are interviewing me that read the book and they apply it. And it's like, oh,
Yes.
wouldn't this have been helpful when we were young?
It's funny because I think too that people were learning this stuff along the way, right? That
Right.
the Quantum Council was saying, okay, here's information, keep going. But again, the 7 and the order of them is so important, right? So
Yeah.
we got alignment, and then there's focus, which makes sense, right?
Got in mind. You got to focus it.
I'm in alignment. Now I've got to focus this
This
energy.
amazing machine that we have right here that literally creates. It can create heaven and it can create hell. It creates lack and it
Right
creates
here.
abundance. Now.
Right here in the now. Not
Yeah.
Wow.
Now. So focus.
So
Huge.
focus.
And I love the counsel and the wisdom that they brought in because it's different than what you've ever heard about on focus before. Right. So that's why it's like you might have heard these, but it's said a very different way. The next one is joyful expectancy, because once you got your mind focused, there's the gap. The mind wants to go, okay, I'm focused there, but I don't have it yet. Right. There's a gap between knowing and being realistic that I want this, but I am in the absence of it. What do you do in the gap? Joyful expectancy.
And these are things too, like, and you go into like specific things that we can do, but these are like where vision boards come in, treasure maps come in, affirmations come in, and getting into the energy of this joy, right? Because again, it's all energy. And again, with alignment and focus, right?
Yeah, you're actually going into the 4th one, which is the principle of having, because that's how they all it's not like 1, 2, they all flow. It's a spiritual principle, energy, right? So you have the gap, you're, okay, I'm expecting it's going to happen. I'm joyful about it. And then what do you do now? You feel the having of it.
Wow.
Because you have to be a vibrational match to it. It just makes sense. It's like, it just all flows together. It's like, okay, now that I have it, I just want to love it. Love
There's the love. I was gonna say, so we alignment, focus, joyful expectancy, having, and when you have it, then here comes the love. Here comes the love. This is 5.
In the universe. Highest vibration in the universe. That is the manifestation vibration.
Wow.
Love. And not love, like if you love me, I'll do this, or if you put your toilet seat down, I'll love you more, or I won't be angry at you. If you behave this way, it's pure love. Like, I just love that. Right? Just, that's so great. I mean, that's the energy of love. That electrifies it. And then anything that is not of that love, not of that alignment, focus, joyful expectancy, all of that, you surrender it. That's what you surrender. God, I've got this thought that just keeps gnawing at me. I'm going to surrender that.
I love it, because I think a lot of times, again, if people had just heard the first 5, I think a lot of people think, oh, we're done. We got to the love, right? But there's more. I mean, again, this is all about creating a new normal, right? And so we had a normal before that included negativity, doubt, fear, limitation, all these kinds of things. So even when we do manifest, we go through this process and we manifest something that we really, really want. This, like you said, this other stuff can come up.
Oh, well,
So what are we going to do with that?
We got to surrender it.
We got to surrender it.
And then you got to take action, because
And
what
then
happens
action.
when you surrender, then you get inspiration, and then you take inspiration action. And the and action is an interesting concept too, because it's not just all outer do, it's interaction. Meditation is an interaction that the physical human being will go and take them the time to actually just sit and do nothing, to breathe, to bring in energy. That's an interaction. I have a thought that's telling me I can't do something. I'm switching it to I can do that. I just took an interaction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
take action towards your desires. I could talk to you forever.
I only have one more question for you. And, it's kind of like going round robin again. And that is, at the end of the day, at its purest and simplest form for you, if someone asks you the question, what do I really need to realize about manifestation? And specifically manifesting these things, what do you tell them?
There's so much to tell, but I would say that you are the whole entire universe literally is at your command, because you are constantly directing energy. We are energy receivers, we are energy containers, and we're energy transmitters. So where you direct the energy, that's what you will create, deliberate or not. So stop creating it towards what you don't want and start focusing on what you do want, because life gets really fun. That's a new normal. That's the kind of normal I want to live in.
We are eternally grateful. We are eternally grateful. Christy Whitman, thank you so much for being with us on Soulivity Weekend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wow. The book is The Desire Factor: How to Embrace Your Materialistic Nature to Reclaim Your Full, I said full, spiritual power. I should be like power, like put a little bass in there. Power. Again, it is an incredible read. This is going to become like one of my mainstays, one of my regular, like, go back, okay, what am I doing? Because again, I think, this materialistic stuff pulls a lot of heartstrings for a lot of people, right? I mean, it pulls and pulls and tugs. And if we don't deal with it, we're just going to keep creating what we've been creating. And that is a life that is not fulfilled, not full of joy, not full of love, specifically for ourselves.
Yeah.
And, we'll just kind of be sleepwalking. And this is about waking up and changing that paradigm and using our own desires to do it. And so thank you again. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My pleasure. I'm grateful. Appreciate your time with you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody will be back with more Soulivity Weekend.
You can find all the Satonic products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care, it is all there. At the Go Shop. Go shop Soulivity. We work so hard sometimes. Isn't it time for a break? Take a walk. Or enjoy nature. Or maybe a leap. Or a ride. Or even a dip. Spending time with a friend. Or some time alone. Whatever it is, always spend time growing and learning with a Soulivity Weekend. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Soulivity TV. Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Maybe not so much in the UK and Ireland, but certainly in the United States, I would find that a lot of people use the word autism to describe someone who has an intellectual disability. Now let's just clear a few things up. Yes, those with intellectual disabilities can be autistic, although by and large, autistic people tend not to have intellectual disabilities. That's where it lies. And this is where the problem really is that a lot of people think that autism is an intellectual disability, whereas it isn't. What it is simply a different way of processing and communicating information. So if I were to ask and plead for one thing, it is please, please do not use the word autism to describe a learning disability, although I do keep in mind that there are those with learning disabilities who are autistic as well.
And now back to more from Soulivity Weekend.
I hope you enjoyed this wonderful interview with Christy Whitman. Remember to go out and buy her new book, The Desire Factor, wherever books are sold. Until next time, this is Brian Westley Johnson saying thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week for more Soulivity Weekend. Bye now.
Follow us on social media for giveaways, events, and a whole lot more.